Hi, everybody. Just seeing who's up, but if no one's up, that's fine too. Have you ever got up really early in the morning, like something woke you up? You're just like me. Sometimes when I get up, all I want to do is just walk, go up and down the streets. But being the streets ain't all that safe. Like before, when you could get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, go to the shop, walk around, like do what you're doing. Now, the strangest thing is when you wake up at these hours, right? Um, well, it's 5:23 now. Like if you wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I think they call it the witching hour. I think it's 3 o'clock in the morning is the witching hour, or 2 o'clock in the morning is the witching hour. When you wake up and you just want to just like just what you call it, explore, see what's happening, what's going on. Like you're thinking in your mind, man, if I go out, hmm, like around here, so like around certain times of the morning, it's so quiet. There's no one on the street. Sometimes you hear the revelers coming back from their pub crawl or whatever they're doing. Now I tend to get up sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's when you hear things. I think when it's more quieter, when everything's more at peace, you it's like you hear the house. But I call it the house is breathing because it's like the house is breathing itself. The house itself is breathing like it's got a heartbeat in it. But really, all it is a bunch of humans. That's all the heartbeats are beating together in it because they're breathing in and dreaming at the same time. They're still in dreamland. So this might even be the wrong channel to even talking like this, but um, what when you get up early in the morning, so this is when all the workers are going out to the cleaners and everybody else. Like certain times of the morning when you get on the bus, you see the cleaners going off to work, the cleaners, the carers, the this one, the that. It's just an interesting time in the morning. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you wake up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, when it's really quiet, you go outside, whether it be your balcony, your garden, wherever. Like you sit outside, it's just so peaceful. Like um um I haven't been around a graveyard in ages, mind you, but it's peaceful like that. It's peaceful. When you're walking through a graveyard, it's just so peaceful. And you're hearing all the heartbeats of the people around you, like literally, I mean, like, mind you, right here, the odd snore, but it's the thing, it's the what's it going on. Let me see if I could see what's going on outside. See what's going on outside. Saying all this, let's see, the moon will be still up. It's 5 o'clock, really. Sometimes I can out. Gonna go be 5 o'clock in the morning. See, everybody's quiet, so quiet, quiet, quiet. Foxes normally be out. No sound in the house, so it's quiet. Let's see what's going on outside. Like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna turn on the Eaten. So quiet out. Can't see the stars in the sky. So quiet, man. So quiet. God, it's absolutely silent out there. Outside expecting to hear something, you hear nothing. Just silence. Silence. Before, normally from 3 o'clock, you hear some type of movement, but there's no movement going on. Just quiet. Can't even go to the front or the back. Just silence. You can hear one singular bird in the background. I don't know if you heard the bird. You can hear the bird making a noise. So I'm thinking, whatever do others stand on their balconies, like these time of the mornings, like this is like sometimes it feels like a time to explore. I think 1, 2 o'clock in the morning they say is the witching hour where you can do the most. But I don't do the most. I try not to. I'm just so awake. So awake. And it's the smallest one's birthday today, funny enough. What's this? Hold on, let me put it up for here. The smallest one's birthday today. So quiet. But anyway, I just thought I'll put on my live because I don't normally get a chance to just chill out. I'll be talking about subjects most of the time. Sometimes it's good to just wake up, put it on. I know people say, oh, people just turn on their lives. Sometimes like, you just want to turn on your live. You just want to express yourself at that time. Hi, Trips. Hi, no. You just want to express yourself at that time. Because early in the morning, I'll be getting up. I'll be wide awake. I might be going. And I'm one of those. I have to do something. I have to just do something, I guess. I was brought up in a very strict home, you see. They wake up at any time of the morning. You have to clean up, you have to do whatever you've got to do. My house was very strict. So if they wake you up at 2 o'clock, you will clean whatever they tell you to do at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I used to do that all the time. I used to have real bad insomnia. Yeah, real bad insomnia. Real bad insomnia is the worst. when you get up, you can't sleep. You need to talk to somebody at that time, I tell you, because your mind's just racing, like your mind's racing. I don't know what it's linked to, but the Sonia part. Normally, I wash up this time of the morning and then drink a chamomile tea and go back to sleep, or I'll go listen to a video and I'll somehow end up falling back asleep. But today I just thought, oh, let me turn on the live, because I always do subjects. And you know me, I'm quite strict with my subjects. So this morning, as I'm up, probably go wash up anyway. As I'm up, I might season the chicken. I'll just turn on the live, I don't normally spark up my live and don't talk nothing. I don't like to do that sometimes, but sometimes you have to like just chill out. I can't play music because it's quite early in the morning. Yeah, so I'm saying now, I just went out in the garden. It's so quiet, and I was comparing it to when I used to go to the cemetery, because I just watched a video a while ago, and we see the difference to the daytime, to the nighttime, to the morning time, early in the morning, where it's so quiet, so peaceful. Unless you go to the real busy road, you'll see people going to work, doing what they're doing. It's just like, you just see the difference. You see the difference of how life is. Human life is very interesting if you really study it. My one person called it social science. How people are in the daytime to early in the morning, to when the sun rises, to when it's daytime. And that's probably why Muslims wake up early in the morning as well, I think, and do their Fajr early in the morning. So yeah. So I don't know. I just thought I could be talking rubbish here. You could tell me if I'm talking rubbish, unless it's just me. My brain is just, I'm slow at the best of times, I am. But yeah, so I woke up and I'm saying that the house is like it's breathing, it's like it's breathing. I know people don't believe in these things, but I used to wake up real early in the morning with my children, be sleeping, and to me it's like the house is breathing. Like you'll see, it's so silent. The silence is so dense. So yeah, I don't know. Let me just put out my what's it? My invites. What did I do? Right. Let me put out the invite, because probably today I can let people talk a little bit today, because I am not really doing anything deep today. So that's what I'm thinking. I might have put this on the wrong channel. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I just watched one of my guys in the graveyard in New Orleans. He saw a full apparition. She does it. Hello.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing. Ain't nothing else I can say right now. My sleep schedule all throwed off. I don't know what to do with myself.
drink some chamomile tea. That's what I'm about to do in a while after I've done recycle some dishes.
Nah,
Um,
I'll eventually get sleepy and fall off. It's just my brain working overtime,
yeah, that's like me. Like when I wake up,
trying to keep from thinking about anything. So
yes, yeah, yeah, that's man. I wake up and my mind's like, like I have to do something like now, because I was saying to my daughter, 'cause when I wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I literally what I used to do, I used to take a walk outside, go to the shops, and my daughter would be like, "Mom, you can't going up, getting up and walking around." Because that's just I don't know whether some people do that. She goes, "You can't be doing that, Mom." She goes, she goes to me, if you want to walk around, switch on the light, walk around in the garden, but because the garden ain't ready yet, and it's not at its best yet, so I can't just
yeah,
sit there because I'll probably end up putting something, doing something. So I'm just like, nah. So I just thought, okay, I'm awake. Like normally I'll do because like you know me, I'll be doing subjects in it. So I thought, you know what, let me just do a easy one today.
yeah. I was just coming up saying hi. I'm laying down trying to get sleepy.
Oh yeah, yeah, but the body somehow rests itself. I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? It rests itself or it does something, yeah. Or you just drink chamomile tea. In my case, I just drink chamomile tea.
Well, I just been napping for like the past day and a half, off and
Mm.
on.
Mm.
It's like I'm
Yeah.
here, but I ain't here. So
Ah, I hear you on that one. I hear you on that one. Oh man.
but I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. I just came up to say hey.
Yeah, I guess okay. It's cool. Trips anytime. I just saw your thingy. I'm gonna go watch your one because you're doing on Dr. York's.
Malachi, yeah, because people still out here talking crazy.
Yeah, his followers are crazy. That's what it is. They're just they look at him as God. It's the same with Russia Jamal, isn't it? They want him to be this savior or whatever the hell they want him to be, and we know they ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not prepared to see it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah. But I'll holler at you later. I'll be in the bushes.
Okay, all right, Trips. Thanks for
All
coming
right.
up.
No
All right,
problem. Bye.
all right. Night. Yeah, yeah, but you right, and especially right, and also you see when you come from those West Indian homes where they wake you up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like if you be around a West Indian person, a Caribbean person, should I say in general, doesn't matter what part of the Caribbean they come from, when they wake up early in the morning to so on a weekend, they'll be up early in the morning making a huge breakfast. That's how we're brought up. Some of us are brought up like that. So, like, I used to irritate my daughter. I used to clean real early in the morning. My daughter used to say, "Mom, you do so up early in the morning." Be like, "I'm cleaning." So what I do now, I have to leave stuff so I have something to do. If I get up, then when I want to really, really, really chill out, like I can't chill out. I used to chill out. I don't know whether that's old age or something. I don't know. With me, it's old age. I know everybody's like, but you're young as you feel. No, oh, no, it's old age or my. Uh, I feel my age at times. So I'm just like, wow. So because luckily, like me, I need stuff to do sometimes because I need schedule. I need scheduling in my life. I need a whole schedule life because if I'm not doing that, if I'm not studying, training, doing something, my mind, like I literally go into my own world. Like I'm a typical Sagittarian. I go into my own little box, my own little smoke, my own cloud somewhere. Like people be talking to me, and my mind just be somewhere else sometimes. I'll be thinking like, or I start thinking of stuff, or I read something, and it just be stuck in my head, like, and or I see something. So, um, so I have to literally talk to someone who understands certain stuff sometimes. Otherwise, sometimes I have to switch off. People find it hard to switch off. I switch off sometimes because um otherwise you're constantly I mean, like you're already worried about life already, then you got extra worry. So me being that I'm so passionate, I'm a passionate person anyway, naturally. So I have to put my energy into stuff. As you know, I've been trying to become a carer for how long? It's been giving me beans. It's so annoying. So I did all that training, all that time. And it's like you're thinking, so right by now I would have been starting something because I need scheduling because it's good for me and the smallest one in it. But it's just been such an uphill struggle. So what I tend now, when I start researching something, it's like it's continuous, 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 continuous. I don't stop. Um, I haven't been to that Peckham Park yet, but I plan to go back down there to see what they're doing. Might do it this week actually. See what they're doing and what's going on. I know Raspek went down there the other day, and he saw something on the and stuff. So I want to see what's going on as well, because when you have to get updates and stuff like that, you've got to be around to see what's going on. Sometimes I ask questions, and I don't even know whether people will talk on camera because people are so funny. When you put a camera in their face, they might not say nothing. They might not want to talk at that time. Um, Life is a very busy pace with most people. People are normally into themselves or into their mind sometimes. Everyone's going through what they're going through sometimes. So I can't really judge people sometimes. So, because I mean, at first I didn't know how bad some people's depression was and stuff like that. Too, when you come on platforms like this, you see how depressions are more. Though I've been a depressed person myself, but you see it more. You hear it in people's stuff. You pick up on it as well. So so people are normally in their own mode in their heads, because I do it as well. I go into my head. If I have something to do, I have to go, or especially if it's to do with money, I have to make sure I'm on it. Like so, I got to do loads of researches on stuff. Now, as you can see, I'm still going through the Magdalena Laundry stuff. The reason why I'm dealing with that because of the severity of these homes. Now, I do know, don't just saying there was white women there. There might have been black women there. They said that is to do biracial baby. Lots of biracial babies was born there. In Ireland. I feel it doesn't matter. Sometimes British history, Black history intertwine. So I feel that these women, I mean, even though they supposedly got compensation, but it's important to know that there is homes like that, because there's probably homes like that still going on around the place in the Canada, also Americas, as well as Ireland and England and stuff like that. Because when I looked at some of the homes still exist. So when I'm looking at the Magdalene, the laundries, I know people say, "Oh my God, she's talking about that subject again." Yes, I'm talking about that subject again, because those the subjects are very important. It's very important because sometimes history tends to repeat itself. So sometimes you need to look at certain histories. Um, um, most of these mothers went through hell, and they're like older women. They're like in their nineties, and all this. So they're talking like that lady, the one who worked at the laundry, and she explained what happened when they were near septic tanks, which my gran always spoke about nuns and septic tanks for years. My gran used to talk about that for years. He used to talk about the abuses in the Catholic Church for years. And it's so interesting. I've come along now, I've come a certain subject matter, and it's all aimed in the same direction. Mind you, there's a lot of history in England, all around London. When you walk any part of London, there's history. You see where King Henry V walked from Canterbury to Greenwich and certain parts. So, though I'm not a historian as such, but I believe in certain stuff because when they're saying about inflation and the Great Depression and stuff like that, prohibition and stuff like that, you got to think about these things. These are all repeats of history. So history tends to repeat itself as well. Or what tends to happen, some countries will mimic other countries in different ways. Like, whereas a country was wealthy for a long time, like i.e. England, went through the Brexit or whatever. But some people ain't seen it like that. They think it was a good thing, but it wasn't a good thing for England, I will say, because all their workers came from all over the EU, and they kind of blocked it. But what they're doing now, they're trying to make it immigration thing, and it like they're trying to make it immigration thing. That's what I think. Basically, it's an immigration thing to them. There is a lot of racial connotation underneath it. So when people thinking, "Oh, London's tea and crumpets, Harrods, what's the next place where everybody always say England is always linked to?" Harrods, the royal family. The royal family work for Parliament, and it's quite straightforward to see. So even the new king now, because stuff is changing. I don't watch them too tight. I'm not a royalist, so but there is underhand things that goes on as well. I know I strayed from what I was saying, but it's one of those like. But yeah, hold on, let me let this. The ear is so fresh, man. It's fresh. Like this time of morning, the ear is fresh. So you can go out and do some breath breathing, as carbonation that like to say that they're all spiritualists and shit. When it's a bigger picture to it. There's a bigger picture to it. I mean, I could come on here and do something and stuff, but I ain't gonna do it. But yeah, so there's royalists and stuff like that. They're all intertwined. I mean, lots of things is intertwined with sometimes, I mean, people say they don't. I mean, my friend, I think it's one of my friends on here. She says she don't watch the news. But it's okay because I'll be the news for it, you know. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, whether it be the Americas or here. Right now, there's a little bit of a tension in the air when you go outside. I don't know whether it's like that for others in the UK. There's a little bit of a tension thing sometimes. I call it racial tension, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes when you stay in your little cubby hole, you don't see it as much. But when you're out and about, you see it. So I don't know what else to say really. I could be just waffling right about now. But what I'm saying is that yeah, the looking into certain history is interesting because you see the cycle of what's going on. There's a cycle to stuff. In nation, they call this like just how they're saying the circumference of the planet is 360 degrees or something like that in circle or whatever. It's the same way how things happen. Like there's as well. So, but basically, I just got up and my mind just said, "Oh, just put on a live." I said, "Oh, okay, I'll do that." And like I said, like you know, when you go out at 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, you see, right? It's economics mostly more than ever, the economical side of it. Um, Over here, sometimes they make out people don't want to do this and people don't want to do that and people don't want to do this, when in fact the people want to do. So, and I also feel that they said that the revolution will not be televised, but people will say, yeah, but like a revolutionist. You can be revolutionist however you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You can be a revolutionist even when you're in your own space. Um, it's what you choose to do. Some people advocate for certain stuff, some don't. I ain't judging nobody who's doing a YouTube and you're trying to put out information because some things they don't want. I don't know. I'll just say they don't want people to know, or they don't want the voices to be heard. So obviously, right, you're following something. They call it the so-called algorithm, and then you uh put out your stuff. It's left for individuals whether they want to hear it or not. Me, I just put it out, and then I'll read my comment section. My comment section always have me. I always learn something, or we learn something, or I learn. They bring something to the table is that is interesting. The comment section is very important for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it's very important for me because the subs voice their opinion. Some subs are a bit weird. So when I put the respect IG thing, somebody's like, "Oh, they were crying. Something happened. They spoke about it. They aired their feelings. They aired their mind. They aired how they're feeling at that particular time because it affects everybody. Not only that, like I say, the woman could be their auntie, their grandma, their sister, their niece. So you cannot be carried on to certain channels and saying certain stuff because me, for one, I'll just hide you or block you. So, and like I said, it could have happened to any woman. The only difference is that how, because this has happened in the Americas with George Floyd, people, we do not want to see another film death live on the flipping internet, social, whatever, TV, whatever. Right? You don't want to see people getting unalived in front of our eyes. I call it so-called lynching. People can call it otherwise. But to me, that's why Respect voiced his opinion on certain stuff Now, Raspek has been doing works for a long time. Once again, I will say this again. Raspek has been doing works for a long time, working with gangs, working with youths, going prisons, doing all sorts. Half of the works, what he doesn't even put up on social media anyway, right? He don't put up on social media. So we only see what he puts out. He's not like my Jazzy Life where every single minute he takes out his camera and filming himself eating and doing certain stuff. Even when he does put out family stuff, it's not filmed, not really. So you see more of the working side of him. So people think that he is the Black Lives Matter thing. No, no, he's not part of the Black Lives Matter. He wears a stab vest because of the work that he do. Okay, and he saved a few boys from a lot of stuff. I could say for sure, because these boys be in certain situations. Like I said, there's a gang culture over here. That's why they put on Top Boy to represent what goes on over here. But they never show the other side of the Caribbean, West Indian, African life over here. They tend to show the wider world like this is going on. Sometimes, right, you don't even see that. You don't only see the boys. I mean, probably you see them hanging around, but you'll never see them. I've never been there flats. You don't see the boys physically hanging around like that. And that place where they film down Shepherd's Bush, you don't see them like that. So they form this ideology that this is how this is how Caribbean life is. No, there's some joyful moments too. Some children be graduating from school, college, whatever. Most of the children don't even wearing the Adidas trousers, hoodies, whatever. Some of them be going work. Some of them be going college. Some of them do get caught up in stuff, but it's by proxy because of the area to which they come from. Because over here there is a great ignorance to certain stuff. If you come from a certain area, you come from the ghetto area, even if it is getting gentrified. So I feel that. Also, Top Boy is glorifying it, glorifying. They're not really helping the situation. They're glorifying it because even when Ashley Walters said he had to pay, what he had to pay the people there because they lost money there. Hi, Alex. He had to pay money to the gang there because they were losing money because they were filming. They was doing a whole production there, and they paid some gang people some money. I'm like, but you're still paying. You're not helping the problem. Though he said he wasn't glorifying it. Like, yeah, you're glorifying it, bro. Just don't realize that you're glorifying it. And there is bigger things at hand as well because like the inflation um is so crazy as well. But they don't show that. They don't show like when people go to pop-up shops and certain places and they selling stuff. There's people who economically wants to be self-employed over here because I was one of them. Where you're in pop-up shops, where you're doing certain stuff, you're trying to make your life better. That's what they don't glorify. They rather glorify the worst of the melanated family life living, which is a shame because there's plenty of people who's doing a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff out there. Even my friend who does massage, she was doing spa, she was doing a whole heap of things, and she's still doing a lot of stuff. So it's like if you're gonna show something, you might as well show the whole picture. Because as far as I'm concerned, right, they're stereotypical in everybody. So the ones from the wider community, when they see things like Top Boy and certain programs and they see you walking on the road, like it's like when you're wearing a headscarf. Like in my case, I wear a headscarf because I wear a headscarf now because it's some form of comfortable to me right now. So when they see you wearing a headscarf, they there's Islamophobia still about, I suppose, in a kind of a way, for whatever reason. So they associate that thing with something bad, when most Muslims are not. They're not. They're very peaceful people, right? So when you're talking to certain people, so that's what I would say to people: you need to talk to the source at most times. You're talking to the source, the people themselves. You learn a whole lot. Like Somalians, I used to think that Muslim women was oppressed. I came across a whole heap of Somalians. They're more liberated than most women because they have um they have a voice to certain stuff now. They didn't have a voice before, but they have a voice. They also can work in most places with their headscarves on. They can be in the supermarket, they can work in all different places, and they still wear hijab. Right? Mind you, I'm sure they come up against a whole heap of BS, but they they actually deal with it the way they deal with it. So um and especially when you have a conversation to do with race with Somalians. I mean, people the other day were saying, "Oh, Somalians are racist or whatever." I personally haven't had that. I personally, so I don't know where everybody's experience is different of other cultures and societies. Because unless you're around them 24/7, then you can see how they function. So, oh yeah, back to Top Boy. So Top Boy glorified gang violence. I feel anyway. I thought they would have stopped it at season 2 or 3. When I saw season 4, um, 5, I think it is. I said, wow. So I went and watched it because I think my younger one was watching it. I went and watched it. When I saw it, what was going on in it, um, it didn't even solve nothing because most gang members normally, when they come out of the gang, they go and they help them come out because respect. I think respect is a product of that. Respect. Carla, I think, is a product of that. Twilight Bay is not. Is they go and they help others come out. They try to make them come out. There's also over here Manhood Academy, which gives them rites of passage to manhood. There's one for the girls as well. So um, that's so I'm saying if you're gonna show West Indian life, Caribbean life, whatever you want to call the term, indigenous, whatever, show the whole thing, show every aspect of it because they showed her mum when she went looking for her son. Her son was in a skip or something. I'll say that's similar to The Wire, where the mum went looking for the son was unalive somewhere, and then when they find the which is a child, because they're still children, when they find them now, it's that for the family to come to grips with that, because when a child is unalive, especially boy or girl, it affects the whole family. Okay, it affects the whole family. Anybody who's been bereavement, lost their child or whatever, it affects the whole life. It affects everything. That's why when I said about my stepson, what happened to him. It affected everybody in here, everybody. So um, when you can't glorify something that, well, I mean, like this, I mean, it's for money, innit? Everybody's saying, yeah, but it's for money. On Facebook, they were saying, yeah, it's for money. That's why, and but there are other productions out there that are not being looked at. Now, there's the Tubi movies, which I just found the other day. There's a Maverick movie that's on YouTube. there's other productions that people are doing. It's only because the big companies won't take them because they're not showing the bad side of whatever. They talk about domestic violence and all sorts of stuff. So they're also not showing that how some of these girls be out there, they be working, like grinding, like working hard. Um, I know that for a fact, 'cause my daughters be working hard and they're in their 20s. So it's like, once again, if you're gonna show it all. Don't show the bad side. Even when they show something to do in Nigeria, they show the worst stuff of Nigeria. Mind you, Nigeria is very corrupted. But when they celebrate certain stuff, right, like their festivals or whatever they're doing, their yam festival, whatever, it's on a big scale. The whole country does be in doing it, or most of the country, the states. So maybe a Nigerian can come and correct me on it. I don't know, but I'm just saying in general, right? So also with the Caribbean right now, Trinidad is going through a whole set of problems. Every time I open up the YouTube, there's a violent time. It's a violent time, but there was violent times before in Trinidad, which I know, which I remember. Because I remember the coup. I remember a few things when I was coming up. So it's like I said, if you're gonna show certain stuff, make sure you show everything. Because even in the West Indies, right, they can't say who they're voting for because of the era they're in. If they're voting for an opposition, they have problems. So some of them don't say, okay, I'm voting for the Green Party or I'm voting for this party because they know they're gonna get drama. I don't know, I must be waffling right now. But anyways, I just thought I'd turn on my live and have a little, okay, call it a sound off right now. Call it a sound off for now. Because I also wanted to see who there's anybody about because I know Amma just finished. I think she finished her live. I don't know how many hours ago. Um, you know, so oh yeah, and I think Trips finished her one as well a couple hours ago. I think so. I'm not up so early. Maybe when I get up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and if I have time before I can take my daughter to school, I will just sound off because there's a lot of things sometimes that you can sound off about, and I could probably do an open panel at one point. I don't know. I'm not going to run it for long because sometimes I have to go deal with, like I said, the school run. My time is different to other times, so that's on. So I do appreciate the comments that does be in the comment section. As you can see, I'm trying to grow those stuff. I get told off though. I get told off. That's where my money goes. But this is sometimes right. You need to do something to expect to do your mind. Like I was never a gardener. I think I grew something a couple times, and the neighbor killed my cucumber plant. I was upset. I said, I'm not growing no plants again. But what happened is when you start growing, you want to grow like 50 things. Like me, I want to grow like 100 and nothings. I just want to make a whole thing, whatever. But like my daughter said, I have to do it like a hobby. It's kind of hard to do it as a hobby because you just like you look at what you've grown and you're just like, wow, I grew that. Damn, I grew that. Like me, I normally grow aloe veras. I'm an aloe vera baby. I can grow aloe veras. I can grow loads of them. I grow loads of baby aloe veras. But um, when I started growing the tomatoes and I started fixing them up and I go check on them, make sure they're good, make sure their stems ain't broken, they ain't got no infections and all that stuff. and I see them bearing. I mean, I didn't they bear, but I didn't get a lot of tomatoes. I mean, I got like a handful or something like that of tomatoes. But I still use it. I cooked with it, and it was so satisfying just cooking from the garden. So I'm gonna try to build this trellis because I want to learn. Because I built something like a trellis, but I didn't put the wire part on it. So what I'm gonna do when I do this one, then I'm gonna see what I can improve on the other one. Then I improve it. I gotta get my greenhouse. I don't even know whether I should put out PayPal and get it from my peoples. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but it's good to grow. I'm telling you, it's just so therapeutic. Even if like you ain't got nothing else going on, when you start growing stuff, it's like you are really dealing with the earth because you're starting to learn the growth patterns and stuff. I mean, I don't follow moons as much as I used to before, but when you're growing certain stuff, man, I'll tell you, it's like it's an achievement by itself. It's an achievement by itself, right? Finding out what plants you can grow indoors and all this stuff. I'm trying to learn to grow herbs at present because I'm rubbish at growing herbs. I am absolutely crap at growing herbs. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna learn to grow the herbs. I also want to grow the lentils, or you can grow lentils. You can sprout lentils. I want to do that because I see the benefits of it. Because also got to get big bottles of water to store in the house too. Because one time they kept switching off the water in the houses. All the houses was switched off. So I said to my daughter, we got to have big bottles of water in the house. So like I said, even in the West, even though I'm in the West in big old England, I forgot the word that Linton Kwesi used. Even here, it's like you feel certain things happen over here, and it's like you're living in the West Indies. Like my daughter said, being that how UK is what it is, she said this is a first world country, and it's like you're living in a third world country sometimes. It does feel like that sometimes because like I'll be feeling like catching rainwater, getting a big ass barrel and cover it and catch rainwater. When it rains over here, it rains heavy. Like they literally have a rainy season. You know, people think of England with snow. No, they have a rainy season. Like around about this time, around September, October, I think it is rainy season in England, in London. So even though I'm not in Chelsea, Fulham, and them other sides there, which is the poshy sides, London, near London Bridge and all them sides, you can see there is a difference. You also see there's a class difference as well. You see there's a class difference. Yeah, but yes, I'm not gonna stay on here. I gotta go wash up actually. And I'm gonna go listen to some lives. And I see you lot don't want me to talk about Solar and Janae's shenanigans. That's fine. That's fine. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. We'll let Fundi Fee and them guys handle it. Fundi Fee is doing a good job right now. Let her deal with him. Let them deal with them Ross. Because the most I will say on Solar and Janae's situation, that was all for show. She's speaking something. I saw Medea's thing just a while ago. I didn't watch Lisa Says What interview. I most probably might watch it. I don't know. They irritate me though, to be honest. That's why I put on that when I saw that cult video with that lady where she's saying she God. I said, wow, sounded familiar, but it does also sound like the Angela's cult too. I just feel that, like, okay, I'm not going to be, but I am a woman, as you know. Many women's been through stuff like what Janae is going through now with Solar. So they are able to cast a certain or say some things of wisdom to a young lady that's trying to so-called co-parent. But to me, like I said, I think Solar is just a no. He's Nature Boy Jr. at the end of the day. I was in Lisa Says What thing. I think my name, they latch on to my name, the ocean name. And I was saying to him, please do not make your daughter a statistic. Don't make your children a statistic. You know, go see your child, go see your children, whether you're good with the mother or not. Because sometimes, right, little children get born into all sorts of situations, right? Some fathers use the child as a bridge to get to the woman. I don't know. I mean, any man that's in the chat can tell me different. To get the man uses the bridge to get to the woman, and sometimes the women do the same thing. It's in reverse as well. My thing is with that is that people picked up on how she was dressed up and all that stuff, and yeah, I've seen mums dressed like her as well. I've seen young mums dressed like how she dressed and stuff like that. But at the same time, right, to me, I feel that they didn't need to put it on social media to show that they are co-parenting. They could have left that for some next other thing. I feel it was unnecessary. But then again, they make their money off of social media as well, don't they? I feel it's unnecessary. It's a little bit like watching, I don't know if people used to watch the therapy that used to come on YouTube. There's this video, this thing on YouTube that used to be called the therapy, where they'll come on and they do therapy with each other, with a guy, and then talk about it and talk about their generational curses and this and that and how can they change this. A little bit like Elan, what's the name? Thingy Fix It. That's how that came over to me, because you don't need to put on, to me, you don't need to put on for the camera. Now, Carbonation has been on camera for YouTube, social media for a long time. A lot of things has been done on camera. For them to continue it alone just shows how some of them are quite insecure and need validation from the audience, the people. So when people give commentary on them, they don't like it. It's a bit like my Jersey life, really. They don't like it. So to me, they could have dealt with that offline. There was no need to show that online. I feel you could have kept that offline. Personally, that's what I feel. That's something between you and the father. Even if like people make assumptions, which people naturally do, make assumptions. That's human. That's what humans do at the end of the day, right? They make assumptions. You said, oh yeah, right, though they make it a drama. You made it a drama. You brought it on IG, whatever. She said, oh, because her IG ends up on YouTube, but you're the one who turns on the live on IG, and then others obviously capture it and put it on YouTube. So the why you're so bothered. You weren't bothered before about people putting your stuff on YouTube, but now all of a sudden you're bothered because you have a YouTube. Don't know, it's just so ridiculous. To me, you could have kept that meeting of you and Solar to yourself. Even if you put out a statement said whatever, whether people care to believe it or not, whatever. That's people's opinion. People have opinions. That's what keep people ticking sometimes. It doesn't mean to say people sad or whatever the case may be. Some people actually use their entertainment. Hello. Like, this is the entertainment. So, like, so are you saying, oh yeah, this, that, and all that? You said what Medea capture on the on her channel, and you're saying that how when they suggested jobs to you, and you're saying that how, oh well, you did a cleaning job and it wasn't up to your standard and this and that and that and that and that. Yes, that happened. That's natural. That's normal. That means that you are a normal person. You are normal. So people were suggesting stuff on your live, and you're like, oh well, this, that, da, 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 da. Then you keep bringing it back and saying it's spiritual. This is the thing. When people talk about their spiritual, you don't wear your spirituality. It's not stamped on your bloody head. First and foremost, it's not stamped on your head. You can be normal. A spiritual person can live quite normal and nobody knows what they're dealing with. So it's only their dietary is different. Their certain stuff is different. They don't go sing it out to the, what you call it, to the world like it's something, right? The only way people would know who you are is either by your name, what you project out. And this is where people, I don't know, it's a different time anyway, because I know, for what I know, when I was around certain places, the new age people, right, sometimes, right, they be dressed in hammer pants and stuff like that. Sometimes it's by how they are dressed or whatever. That's an indication, but people are always spiritual. What is spiritual? So you ship spirituality. Basically, that's what you're telling me, right? It's not a look. There's no look to it. Even a woman wearing a weave can be quite deep. A man that looks like so-called thuggish, but then when you get closer to them, then they know about certain stuff. So when when Janae's talking about, oh, something spiritual, she still calls herself Lotus, which is interesting, Golden Lotus. But I'm sure Fundi Fee will break down a few things, because most of the stuff what they're talking about, either they heard from Fundi Fee's channel, because Fundi Fee is a master of Tai Chi, and she knows a couple stuff. So they learn and they mimic what they see. I think I've seen another person do that as well. They mimic what they see. Sometimes you have to go seek for yourself. You cannot learn off of others. Everybody's journey is different at the end of the day. The only way you learn off others is if they're showing you like little things, little practical things, like breath or posture or certain stuff. But don't say that your whole life is spiritual. Even the most deepest New Ages person goes to work and does certain stuff, and you don't even know that they're into that until when it's weekend or something. So all this talk, what she's saying right now, that oh, it's drama. She's worse than the flipping mother and daughter at this time. I mean, she ain't dry begging or nothing, but come on now, you know what I'm saying? Don't be complaining. If you're turning on a live, that's like me turning on a live right now. Someone's recorded this live and they're going and they made a video out of it. What can I say after that? And then they take out little words what I say. Like, don't be complaining. Like, you know what I mean? You're the one who turn on the IG live and do what you're doing and say what you're saying, and then you're saying, oh, people's looking drama. Okay. So, like I said, I ain't gonna be on here long because it's at the 1 hour mark. I really just came on to talk about the early morning rising time, and well, as they say, I'm sorry to sound like they're stupid people now. The early morning time, and how sometimes, right, when you get up early in the morning, that you hear like the house is breathing, like, but you know, it's went somewhere else totally. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep it for long. I'm not gonna keep it for long. I'll just see everybody on my next upload or whatever. I'm gonna go watch Trips and the Dr. York thing right now, and I'm gonna finish watch Arma's video. So with that said, thank you, Trips, for coming. No. And Alexander. Alexander. Oh wow, that's a nice picture. Alexander. So with that said, I think I said enough. Without waffling, because I tend to waffle. But yeah, I just leave it right there, really. If you don't want people to show your stuff on YouTube, Janae and Solar, don't turn on your live, okay? We don't want to know, okay? If you're gonna do your co-parenting or whatever you're doing, and if he is helping, I mean, like, you don't have to tell. I mean, like, you can say he's helping, you can show he's helping. Other than that, don't be complaining. Don't be complaining, honey. Because if you didn't go to Nature Boy, nobody would have not known your name, known your existence. You and Velveeta is the same anyway, in my book. But anyway, that's just a whole nother conversation. But anyways, with that said, I'm gonna come off. I will see you. Take care. Bye.